I went to my doctor. I hadn't been feeling well for a while, and it was a combination of things. I was diagnosed with depression. I didn't realise how bad it was at the time, and I don't think he did either. And I was given two choices. I could go to bereavement counselling, or I could do the wellbeing courses. And when I talked to my doctor and said what would help me and to get back to where I needed to be, and he said I'd do the wellbeing course. After the elation of finally being told by someone I was going to get some help because I was in a pretty dark place, actually going to the first session, I was actually quite excited until I got there. So as per usual, I turned up about an hour beforehand and basically walked round and round the place and trying to psych myself up to go in. I can't really remember much of what happened on the first 10 minutes. It was all just a blur as I sat in my worry bubble, terrified about what was going on. But as both the PWP and the PSP started talking to me, or talking to the group, there was a sense of calm that came over, and it actually started to sort of drain out, and I did feel a lot better. After the group, I decided that I was going to do the courses because I was desperate for any help at that point. And I remember on the way home I sobbed my heart out because I was so pleased with what I'd done, but again still worried about the next one. So I attended a workshop called Understanding Mental Health, and that was probably the most profound course that I did. There I met an expert by experience, and she told her story. And her story was so profound, so moving, and touched me in such a way that it showed that I could get better, that there was light at the end of the tunnel and I could make it. The great thing about the workshops is the fact that they're run by people who have been in the same position as I had, which meant that I could relate to them. And that was something really that you can grab on, something tangible for you to hold on to. And of all the courses I did, that was the one constant that kept me going all the way through. You knew the people that were giving you the course and helping you with the course weren't just reading off a script. They'd been there, they'd done it, they understood, and they were going to give you the tools to get where they were. But there were also socials for the wellbeing service, and go on a social. Socials are great. I have so many friends from the socials, and it's a way of supporting each other, especially in workshops as well. You go on a social, we all gather together and we'll say, did you understand that homework? No, me neither. But at least we all didn't understand it. And we all got the question to ask when we go to the next workshop. I didn't understand that, can you explain it again? There was also another peer support worker who was very profound in my recovery. And he could see when I went to one of these workshops that I was not really quite grasping what was going on. I'd been doing all the homework, and the homework was great, and it really made me concentrate and focus on what parts of those tools were allowing me to get better. But I was, at this one point, I was completely overwhelmed, and he just turned around to me and he said, how do you eat an elephant? And I looked at him and he said, one bite at a time. One of the things you really learn is, one, you're not alone. It's more common than you think. Two, there is a way out. You don't have to suffer in silence. But the thing that I really loved was the fact that these tools that I was given, things like the worry list, a thought diary, things like that. They're simple things. They seem ridiculous when you first go, but they actually really help, because you can understand your own mental illness, you can understand the points of your recovery, where you're going and whether you're on the right track. And also, life isn't always ups, there are downs as well, and they help you recognise those triggers in yourself, so you know when you're beginning to feel a bit bad that you can get better again by using the tools that you've been given from the workshops. The workshops helped me out of all proportion. I don't think I'd be here where I am now without them. They gave me the tools to be able to recognise when I was ill, recognise why I was ill, and most importantly, give me the structure and give me the tools to help myself get better.